David and Goliath, a story of courage and faith. Like and share the word of God. Subscribe to our channel, and write below which biblical topics you would like us to produce new videos on. In the hills of ancient Israel, the armies of Israel and the Philistines stood face to face, separated by a valley. The tension had been building for weeks, but neither side had made a move. The reason? Goliath, a giant warrior from the Philistine camp. Standing over 9 feet tall, Goliath was a fearsome sight, covered in bronze armor and wielding a massive spear. Every day for 40 days, Goliath would step forward and shout a challenge to the Israelites. "Choose a man to fight me. If he kills me, we will become your servants, but if I kill him, you will serve us." His voice echoed through the valley, striking fear into the hearts of Israel's soldiers. Even King Saul, their leader, was terrified. No one dared to face the giant. Far away in Bethlehem, a young shepherd named David tended his father's sheep. David was the youngest of 8 brothers, and while his older siblings were off at war, David remained behind, watching the flock. But David was no ordinary boy. He had a deep faith in God, and had experienced God's protection while defending his sheep from lions and bears. One day, David's father, Jesse, sent him to the battlefield to deliver food to his brothers. When David arrived, he saw Goliath taunting the Israelites. But instead of fear, David felt outrage. "Who is this Philistine that he dares to defy the armies of the living God?" David asked. Word of David's boldness reached King Saul, and soon David found himself standing before the king. Saul was skeptical. "You are only a boy, and he's been a warrior since his youth," Saul said. But David wasn't discouraged. He told the king how God had helped him fight off lions and bears while guarding his sheep. "The same God who saved me from them will save me from this Philistine," David declared. With no other volunteers, Saul agreed to let David face Goliath. He offered David his own armor, but it was too heavy. Instead, David chose his staff, 5 smooth stones from a nearby stream, and his sling. As David approached the giant, Goliath laughed in disbelief. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" he roared. But David was undaunted. "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty, the God of Israel. Today, God will deliver you into my hands." Without hesitation, David reached into his bag, took out a stone, and slung it toward Goliath. The stone struck the giant square in the forehead. Goliath staggered and fell face down to the ground, dead. David ran to the fallen giant, grabbed Goliath's sword, and cut off his head. When the Philistines saw that their champion was dead, they panicked and fled.